So this. Hi guys, hope we're all well. It's keep doing this. Oh, it's really doing my head in. My Discord, not Discord. Every time I go to use OBS at the moment, it knocks my sound off. Oh, all the time. It's doing my head in. So apologies for that. Every time I go to use my OBS at the minute, for some reason, the mic is knocked off on OBS as a source, and I don't get why. It's really doing my head in. So yeah, that's something that needs to get fixed at some point. How are we all doing today? It's been a day. Let's put it that way. It's been a day. Hang on a moment. Why can I not hear very well at these? It's been a day. It's been one of them days where it's been up and down and stuff. Can you still see me? Because I froze on my screen. There we go. 1 2 1 2. Yeah, it's been one of those days where things have gone well but haven't gone well, but we'll get there. So let's talk about things Wednesday. As you've noticed in the title of the video, it's actually quite interesting. Because now we currently have it that we could potentially get Mark McGuinness on a permanent in the transfer window in January. Now, I've been thinking about this today. It's been, you know, when you go down those rabbit holes and you look into stuff. Evening, Bob123, by the way. I am good, mate. Tired, little, and been cranky, so it's not been great. But I'm awake. I'm doing a stream. Like I said, as soon as I got new space to work in, it would be a thing where I could get these going more regular. So I have done. But let's get to the crux of it then. So basically, Alex Miller of the Star today managed to put out that Wednesday could possibly look at getting McGuinness on a permanent transfer. And I'm intrigued by this a lot because I have a theory. It's a very interesting theory. For me, it's a very interesting theory. And there's people who just left. What did I do wrong? They come back. One. Oh, I'm losing viewers drastically now. Okay, fair enough. But yes, so it's an interesting thing where Wednesday are in a period where I have a funny feeling Sheffield Wednesday Football Club in the summer, Darren got spoke to by Chansiri and said, look, if you can bring me players, if you can get players on a free to the club, you'll have a bigger transfer budget come January that I can throw at you. Then if we need to go get a player or two, it's there. And I have a funny feeling that might have been what happened. Wow, you're not going through. Bye-bye. Hi, User Fun Channel. Hi. Oh, we got lovely. They're getting through again, which is nice and not. Yeah, so if you see anything like that, just point it out. There's a lot of that going round again. It goes in obs and flays where you'll get lots of them and then you'll get none of them. Correct, mate. Correct. Yeah, I've been dealing with that all day as well, trying to hide it off all the videos I've been doing. It's been doing my head in. Just got no time for it. But if you see it, just let me know. Yeah, I have a funny feeling when they had a situation where we got told by Chansiri and Darren Moore got told, if you can get 3 players in January, I will give you a bigger transfer budget to use. And that might be where you're getting the situation with this McGuinness thing, because I'd be interested to see how much Cardiff would want for him. It was interesting seeing a Cardiff fan on the comment section of that video earlier turn around and say about McGuinness, and saying they want to get him as a different player for next season. Now, I have set up some scenes to do. I am waiting for a delivery at the minute, actually. I've got a delivery coming for this stream. It's something it's something I want to get done. Get done. It's something that's going to be for the stream down the long run as well. Yeah, if it's about... That sounds about right, mate. If you look on Transfer Market, because the one thing I need to do, I need to get the iPad hooked up back into this setup, which I can now do because I've played around with a lot of my stuff. But Cardiff are not in a great position at the moment. I'm not going to lie. At the minute, they are not in a good position in terms of table. I believe they got a gaffer in on like a temporary basis. Not temporary basis. What's the word I'm looking? Caretaker, that's the word. He was caretaker till like he'd been given the manager's role, but it's like he'd gone from caretaker to main manager. And I'm interested by this because they are normally a team that does well at getting players in the door and then keeping on them, building on with them. Let's have a look. I want loan out. Will Vokes. Where's the loans out? Top arrival, top departure. There we go. You forget Josh Murphy used to play for them and he's now at Thingy. Loan. Mark McGuinness. So, Transfer Marketplace. Oh, hello. I have a delivery. Give me a moment. There we go. One delivery. I will open this later. Rattles, so I don't know what it is. Can't remember what it is off the top of my head. So, according to Transfer Marketplace, it values about 1.2 million, which is note. You say, here's 1.5, here's a sell-on agreement to it, or you get this much, and then that'll be it. And I'm intrigued by what we do here. Now, there's another player who's interested in that. It's interesting where some of the talking points about them have come from. So, give me a moment. I need to pull the green screen up. And before we do this, let's just chroma key myself before people do something that I don't want them to do. If you are... I actually can't see my chat. There we go. Oh, there we go. It is. OBS is really playing up tonight. I'm not having a good time. So, if you remembered during the transfer window, I did some graphics and I've been playing around with some of them today. And hopefully these will look decent. So, we'll start with the first one. And hopefully these are loaded into where I want them. So, let's see what happens. Here we go. It worked. Yay. I'm happy. That makes me happy. So, if you remember last season, I did the player watches and I did it on players. So, Mark McGuinness, Cardiff City on loan. Good defender, makes it look harder to beat with him in the team. What's his price? Now, according to Transfer Marketplace, it's around about 1.2. I reckon you put 1.5, maybe 1.6 at them, and then throw in some add-ons, then it goes. Now, the interesting thing would be, would you take McGuinness but also be okay with Fizz going at the end of the season if we both are now? Because if we know we're not going to have a Fizz signing, we know there's a huge portion of the money that we would have for Fizz that can go. Like, it will just go straight. Like, if you know we can't, on wages, we can use some of that to another player. I think there's a good possibility of us actually getting a decent little player in. And I know, yeah, I get rather keeping Fizz. He's a bit more of a talent. Well, he's not a bit more talent. It's that catch-22 thing, because ideally you want both. Let's be honest. You want both of them to stay. If you can keep both, you do it. Now, The thing with Faze, we still don't know what is going on with that because that's still rumbling on and it getting to the point where he can sign with whoever soon. And again, it could be a case of why have we still not learnt lessons from when we had the situation with Shaw and Yorogidi? This should get done. You do question it, and it is something that Darren Moore has said in the past that he doesn't want this to happen again. And if it does, feel like a bit of a kick in the teeth to him because it sounds like the club's done all what they can do on their end. And I think we're just waiting on the actual player and the agents and stuff to sort it out. So hopefully that's something. I like this one. It would be interesting to see what happens. Now, the other one is a massive curveball. I don't think this is going to happen in a million years on Sunday. But it has been talked about with other clubs monitoring him who are in the title race at the moment, in the race to go up at the moment. And the thing is, if we could put a cheeky bid in as well, it would be quite interesting. So let's have a look. Like I said, this is a massive, massive no-brainer in terms of it won't happen kind of thing. But Morgan Whitaker is on loan from Swansea. He's having a really good spell at Plymouth, looking really good player, got a good eye for a goal, and looks really good quality. Now, the Plymouth manager said he does expect maybe some of his loan to go in January, similar to what Darren Moore has said about our three. If Whitaker went, it would be a big loss for them. He's been really looking good. He's really playing some good football. Now, the thing is, Ipswich Town are looking at him on a permanent. And if Ipswich are looking at things like this, to kind of guffer Plymouth, it would be interesting to see what Wednesday could do in this sense. Like, you want to, like, see what happens kind of thing, because it's an interesting one. It's he's a right mid winger stroke striker. He's scoring goal for fun at the minute down at Plymouth, and it's a player we could probably do with, but it's hard to get this deal through because they will want a lot. He only went to Swansea from Derby in 2021. I think he would be asking a lot of money for him. You kind of always ask more money for people who are forward players than you do defenders and whatnot. Then again, look at Van Dijk. So I'll just blow my own argument out of the water. But you know what I'm saying. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see if this did happen. I can't see it though. I'm not going to lie. I can't see this one at all. But in the January transfer window, I'm interested to see what have been said between Darren Moore and Chansiri. Because I have a funny feeling there have been some things said that if you can work well on a budget in the summer, there'll be more money left over to work with in January. I could be talking out my backside. People say I do, but you don't know. Look, just looking with the fact that we turned around and said we may go after, what's he called? McGuinness. And that will be then don't get me wrong, that will be a very, very smart business by Wednesday to get in a lone centre back. It will be the first time where we've gone for an actual lone centre back and actually it worked. So let's bring this up. Oh, I need to change cameras, so I need to change that scene. I also need to zoom out of there. So give me a moment. I haven't docked myself because I covered all my address up. Let's have a look. I'll go to fake cam. This. Can't see it anyway. Nice ASMR then. There we go. Just hit the camera, the mic as well, so I apologise for that. I also really like the knife I've got. Back order, but it's a lovely knife. So, pull that. Put it in the bin, Jake. So let's just zoom out of here. You may see my mic arm, you might not. Best you're gonna get. Bit central. There you go, like that. Yeah, there we go. Right. Personally, I can't see that. I think we'll pick up a couple more players, maybe another centre half and possibly try. I can't see either, Bob. I really can't see. I think it's a wild dab in the dark. But it's interesting that teams are being talked about who would normally do that kind of thing. So, we have a box. We have a lovely box in all its glory. I don't know what the quality of this looks like on camera, but hey ho. By the way, absolutely love this. Nice. It's just recently come in. Athlete something or other. A motorbike brand. But they did a special on. Lovely. I like it. That means it'll patina well. And I like things that go patina. Biz McGinnis and then others. Maybe, mate. Just make sure there's no details in here. Yep. I don't think there is. So, we have a box. And this is stuff that is going to be used on the stream in the next couple of weeks. Because the green screen behind me... The green screen behind me is not going away, but it is getting replaced. So, we have some very heavy-duty mounting brackets, which I'm scared to death of putting in my ceiling, but I will get that done. The big one is this one. And the big one's coming tomorrow. So, I have a plan with this in mind. And it's an interesting plan. So hear me out here. So, one of the things, I like doing, I like using the green screen and I like using things that are a bit different. Right? What if I could do it that I stand up and do a stream, or halfway through stand up to do the stream, and be able to point on a green screen behind me like this, looking at the table or moving things around on an iPad with it behind me, but being able to stand up and do more, but then change scenes on the fly without touching the Stream Deck, so it keeps it more flow. So that's why the Stream Deck pedals here, because I got an idea. I don't know if it'll work. That's a big if. I don't know if it'll work yet, but it could. This is some weighty stuff, actually. I just hope I'm not going to wreck my ceiling. They are bigger bolts than I first thought. So yeah, it could be interesting. I think you could do the weather too. Yeah, I thought about that. I thought about little things that I could do with playing around with it. It's something I have definitely thought about having a mess around with. I've got a new green screen on order coming tomorrow. So hopefully at the weekend I can get this up and then we can test it on Monday, I want to say. And hopefully not pull my ceiling down on top of me. That'd be really nice not to happen. Yeah. So yeah. It's going to be interesting. I think this transfer window, we're in for some shocks. I don't have any insider knowledge. Evening, DJ. Hope you're well, mate. I hope you're having a good evening. Good to see you in here. I just got a funny feeling it's going to be really interesting to see what the club do in January, because I do feel like Darren's been promised by Chansiri is if you can do well up to now in the transfer window, in the season, when it comes to the transfer window, I will throw some more coffers into it to get us all a bit further forward. And I don't think we're short that much, to be fair. If I'm honest, I don't think we're not short that much at all. I think we're just, if anything, we need to get, we literally just need to get a striker going, or even strikers in general, plural, because they're not firing on all the cylinders yet, but it'll come. I didn't see the Germany game. To be honest with you, mate, what bits of the World Cup, but I'm also in that kind of thing. I'm not wanting to watch too much of it because I don't agree with where it is. So I'm a bit unsure about it. But it is interesting to see what is going on, though, isn't it? You've seen some big upsets so far. So Germany, Saudi Arabia, but so many draws in this World Cup so far, well, which is weird when I've been looking at stuff. Bash out, McGuinness in. Hopefully, mate, I really bash out McGuinness in. Mr. J, are you a bash? Hang on. You are a Sheffield United fan, I believe. Chris Basham. If they're looking at him, we may be screwed. But McGuinness will be interesting to see what we could get done, to be fair, because he's a good player and he's having a good spell at us at the moment. But this is the problem when players do well for us. Hey, Jim West, I hope you well, mate. This is the big problem when players do really well. They get to be talked about. And Cardiff at the moment... Bash out. Oh, right, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense, Mr. J. I thought you meant bash him at United. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Delhi's a weird one, you know. Delhi is a weird one because if it's not going to get sorted, we might as well just let him go, but still play him and use what money we would have used for his wager for someone else. This is the thing. We're in an interesting position where we know we're not going to get, we might not have a player there that we can then just use the money for him, said player, to go, right, okay, you're not going to be playing for us. So we're going to use that contract money that we would have used for you on players that are going to play for us full stop. So it could be interesting. Bendergarden to begins with McGuinness. I hope so. I call him Bashfish. That's fair enough, mate. I get it. That makes a lot of sense. I didn't think... I've seen your name before. Like, I know he's not a Sheffield United fan. That sounded weird. But I'm interested to see what we do. Because if we get to the point where... I'm interested to know where when they're at the point with Delhi. Are we at the point of going, look, if you're not going to sign, then go. We'll play you, but you're going to... It's a kick in the teeth. If you're going to sign elsewhere, please tell us now. Then we can look at other options or start working on other player contract. Because in one sense, it's a little bit unfair if they're working all the time on Delhi contract and then they're not doing it for other people's contract. Delhi Bash, really important to our club. I agree. It's just, I think the club have put a good offer in front of him. And I'm starting to go with the thing that it's agents now that's causing the issue. Wanting a bit more money, or they're trying to see what they could get. And I actually believe Darren and Fizz that he wants to be here. So it would be interesting if agents are at fault yet again for disturbing players. It wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be the last time, would it? They are very well known for becoming those people that you hate. If we got, say, let me use that other screen, McGuinness in on a permanent, it would be really good for me. I think he wants to see what's on the table first before he commits. Maybe agents have said, see what happens in Jan and then sign at the end of Jan. Problem is, then, we may have already turned around and gone, look, if you're not going to do it, then we'll walk away. That could be a situation because... The problem is, if that was the case, we don't know. I understand what you're saying, DJ, but we don't know what's been said behind the scenes or whatever. I'm hoping something hasn't been said like, look, come January, if there's a good offering, we will come and let you go. But if that's the case, we would have done that in January, in the summer. And it seems like it kind of didn't. We do need to start looking at fullbacks. You are right. This is something we definitely need to start looking at. We're We got an aging fullback which need to be replaced. I think Palmer could go on for another couple of years, but we do need to be smart with what we're looking at. We need to start bringing the age of squad down. I did see the tweet with can we afford McGuinness without offloading someone like Fizz or Winder? Well, Mr. J, I don't think we need to offload, because if Cardiff are rumoured that he's so take this at face value, his transfer amount according to Transfer Market is 1.2 million, right? I don't think we're in a position where we have to have players go to buy, kind of thing. I think we're in a position where the likes of Fizz and Winder stay, and we can still do it, because we didn't. The only player we really spent a transfer fee on was Wilkes, and so far he's not been great. 0 pass percentage for the 20 minutes when he was on. I know it's early days with him, but at the same time, you want him to do a little bit more than that. We didn't spend much in January. I just have a funny feeling Chansiri told Darren, saying, look, you can get some players in for frees in this January, in the summer, like you did beforehand. And then when it comes to January, I'll open up the purse strings and we'll have a bit more money to spend if you need to go out and get someone. I think there's money there to spend. I think there's money there to spend. I think there's someone who he might have his eye on ready. They've already started doing the recruitment talks, and the one thing I want to see more players being talked about with contracts. It seems like it's starting to get there. You've seen it with Barry Bannon say he got a clause in his contract that says he hits a certain games, he gets a contract, a new contract. You've seen it with Patterson been angling for a new deal at times. So has Lee Gregory. It's getting to the point where they're all starting to angle at deals, and they want to know where they're going to be at the end of the window or at the end of the season. They just want some clarity. And if we can get, say, a Mark McGuinness on a permanent, that's a great bit of business. Already knows the club, seems to be enjoying his football with us, get to know stuff. It's potentially fun if the Championship inside last season we looked miles off. Yeah, I think I agree with you there, mate. I think with how close we are to it being the top three, it's a top three race than it is anything else. I think Chansiri will definitely spend a bit just to try and get us over the line. I don't think it'll be a lot. I thought we bought out Volks a contract, or was he a free? I think Volks was a free agent, mate. I think Volks was a free agent, or I think Volks Will Volks mutually consented contract and then we signed him. I have a funny feeling it's something like that. I don't think we paid anything for Volks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure we paid no money for Will Volks. I could be wrong. I have been known to be wrong in the past. Let's have a look. There you go. Will Volks would join Sheffield on the expiration of the contract. So he was a free agent. Volks was a free agent. Pato's an interesting one. Pato, I can see saying thank you for your service at the end of the window, but it's weird. I like Pato to possibly go and us get some money for him, just because he does play in a good Darren Moore's team where we need someone to work hard winning the ball back. That is what he's good at. That's his bread and butter. He's good at that, and he gets he's in people's faces. My issue here, Pato's one of those ones where we could be missing a trick by not actually getting a transfer fee for, considering his age, and he's still got lots of years left in him. He would be a really good player to get some cash for, because people will pay that money for Patterson, depending on where they play him, but he can play anywhere. With the whole kind of players out of contract, it's interesting because I want to do a stream next week or closer to the end of the season where we have all the players who are out of contract and we'll do like who's in, who's out kind of thing and go from there. Because it will be interesting. Patterson, we do need another person like Patterson, but also somebody who can score more goals. It's like you actually look at the centre forward position. We haven't technically got any centre forwards, if you think about it. Like Will Vogt was a free. Backinson we paid money for. Michael Smith was a free. Wilk we paid money for. I'm just trying to have a look at players who came in. Akin we paid 60k for. So it's not like we paid lots of money for. So Akin, Backinson, Wilkes were all paid transfers. McGuinness, Myton, James were loans. Stockdale, Hennigan, Awitway, and Smith were all frees. And Vokes were all free. So we hardly spent any money in the transfer window in the summer. I think Patterson has no place. I'll be surprised if he's had enough of... to be fair, Justin, his interviewed late when it was the first round of the FA Cup kind of felt a little bit that way. It did feel a little bit that way, that he's had enough and he was hopefully probably looking for a new move, even though he has said that he's settled here and he would like a new deal. But as a footballer, you want to be playing week in, week out, and he's just not doing that at Wednesday at the moment. James is another one, yeah. It will be interesting with them because they wanted Fizz in the summer. And we went, no. No, you can't. Like, if you look at where... The worrying thing for me with two of the players we got on loan is this. Let me have a look. Championship. There we go. Bring that up. This is the worrying thing for me. And we'll put this on another screen. And hopefully my stats button works. The last time I did this, it didn't work. And it did my head in. So we'll quickly go here. See what I can see. I've just lost my chat actually now. Hold on a minute. Give me a second. So if I go to this screen, and go to stats, is this the right button? Yeah, it's the right button. There we go. So the interesting thing here for me in the championship, why does it do that? I need to fix that because it puts it over and I can't fix that yet. So, the interesting thing for me is look at where Cardiff City are. They're in 19th place. Look at where Blackpool are. They're in the bottom three on 23 points. Now, they might turn around and say, look, we want to keep him because we don't know where we're going to be next season. Or Cardiff could be like, right, we need to get him back. We need to shore up our defence. We need to stop leaking goals. Now, this is the interesting thing for me. You worry about teams who are in the bottom three because they want to kind of, or fight in a relegation. They want all their players back as soon as possible. Bear in mind the exception, Myton, because yes, Sheffield United, because I saw Sheffield. Nottingham Forest are in a relegation scrap, but they got players who are so far ahead of him. Now, Blackpool, we could get money for, and it would be interesting to see if we did. But Blackpool being 23rd and Cardiff being 19th. Cardiff may... Sorry about that, chat. Cardiff might turn around and say, look, we'll sell him because we want to get another player in to keep us afloat, to try and get us further. They may go get someone else in. So it would be interesting to see what happens with that whole aspect, because there's a strong possibility some of them turn around and go, actually, you know what, you stay there because we don't know where we're going next season. Or it could be a case of, right, we need you to come back and help us defend and keep us up. Like I said, it's an interesting situation when you look at it. Let's have a look. Nat just put something. Pato could do a job for someone in League One as a forward. Oh yeah, definitely. Thing is, it wouldn't surprise me if an offer came in. I wouldn't surprise me if you saw Patterson go back to Scotland. With him just being married. I don't know anything in it. I'm just speculating at the moment. But it wouldn't surprise me if he go back to Scotland and kind of just sorts it out, if you know what I mean. Because he's in that position where, oh, good, that did well. He's in that position where he can do some really good stuff still. And I will be very interested to see what he does and how he gets on. I haven't got my stream stuff. It disappeared. Where'd that gone? That's annoying. So that's going to be fun when it comes to ending the stream, because I will be able to end it on my end, but not on the actual stream. That's annoying. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. Patterson's an interesting one. He could go anywhere really and probably do well. It would be interesting. I'd be very interested to see where people went and who we could go to. Put it that way. There it is. Live control room. Found it. For me, you're probably looking at centre backs. You're looking at centre backs, and you're probably looking at forwards. We got enough midfielders. We got enough. You're looking at defence and forward line, aren't you? You could see he'll probably go for wingers, because we are starting to use wingers at the moment. I don't certainly think it's a place we could go, but it's an idea. So we would see what happens there. But if we could get him in a position where we get a player. And Darren very smart at getting Jordan Dorey is doing very well, sadly, at Preston. He's having a blinder. He started a lot of games actually. That loan spell was like the blessing in disguise for him. Lineups. He was in the last game before they broke. I think he started every game pretty much. Dorey got a goal in that one. Yeah, he's starting all games, mate. So the loan spell did him a lot of good. So I can't see him coming back. Hector hasn't found a club. Now apparently he was had a trial at Luton. And there's gotta be a reason why he's still not got a club. Whatever the reason is, he's still got no club. He is 30 now. And still a free agent without a club. Is it something to do with wages? Is there an injury? But he did this a little bit when he was a free agent when he went to Fulham. It's like he didn't sign for Fulham until that January, but he was training with them. He's still a free agent, so that's another option you could actually bring in and go, right, we still need a centre-back just in case we have another injury. It gets it that. It's interesting. Oh, yeah, Hector's style would definitely suit him. It's... yeah, there's a certain 37-year-old who could do with a club. Sounding like Newcastle of all places, maybe somewhere Ronaldo goes, which is interesting. I've got a feeling he's taking a long time to get match fitness. He's not, Bob, but he hasn't signed for anyone. That's the thing. If you're taking a long time to get match fitness, you can still sign... Say you're going to go to a club. Like Michael Hector was having a trial apparently at Luton. And I haven't heard anything since that. EFL side continued to weigh up move. Luton Town are weighing up whether to sign Michael Hector following this thing. Is that the thing? He's still not got one. It's like Luton, he's still training with Luton, so it could still go ahead. But at the moment, it's not happened yet. And you would have thought they would have pulled the trigger on it and gone, look, we've got a defender here, we got him. Andy Carroll is not a free agent. I'm pretty sure Andy Carroll is at Reading. I think the last time I saw him, he was in a Reading shirt scoring, doing the pump it forward situation. Hey, Maple Leaf, hope you well, mate. Good to see it's good to see that I'm well. I am. I hope you're well, mate. I hope things are going swimmingly over there and not getting too cold. Have you already had the bucket ton of snow that you have over there? Uh, yeah. Andy Carroll's at Reading, doing quite well for them actually, coming on as like a super sword and long throw-ins and being a menace in the box. Again, we do. If we're gonna go for players in summer, they've gotta fit that mold as someone who Darren can work with for another couple of years, or whoever the manager can work with for another couple of years. You look at the signing we've made, Akin Fenneru, Wilkes. Yes, I know. There's a certain age to them that Darren want to do. He want to work with some of these young lads to sort out where they're going to be, hopefully have one for the future. Now, that's all well and good having one to future. That's fine. That works. We just have to make sure it's the right fit for the club. It's like, it was interesting. I was reading something the other day on one of the Facebook groups. It's like someone was saying they think Wilkes is carrying too much weight. Maybe he is. We don't know what his preseason was or lack of. It kind of where I would have liked to have a winter break during the World Cup, just so we could have a preseason with some of them, get some of the stuff sorted. But at the same time, I like that we still got football going, and it's still turning into a good little chance for to pick up point, because the interesting thing will be on Saturday against Mansfield, because we don't want to lose anybody to injury and we don't want to overdo it. So it'll be interesting to see what Darren does with that. Wilkes does look chunky, but also greedy. Yeah, I have noticed he's very, very greedy with the ball at times. He needs to release it a bit quicker and not go forward with it. It was weird. One of the things that I found really funny about the game at the weekend was that he had an opportunity to run with the ball and he passed it straight back to their keeper. And it's like, no, that's the time I want you to run with the ball. The clock is ticking. Waste time. Don't give it on back to launch it forward. So it will be interesting to see what happened with Wilkes after we've chased him all summer. Could we possibly say that Plymouth lose Cosgrove at he had to go back to Birmingham, and Birmingham say, look, we're going to loan you out again. Plymouth want you, but we want you to go to this team instead, which I don't get why you would. They're both in the same position. Just keep him there. But he may go to Cosgrove again. All is well, thank you. Dawson back and ready to take on Mansfield. Would like to see him play again. It will be good to see Dawson get another run out. It's been decent. I like to see some of the younger lads get run outs as well, because we've got some young lads who are starting to break through. Our academy starting to look a little bit okay again. 9 likes, 13 people watching. Get that up. But in terms of it, it's going to be interesting when that transfer window opens, because I don't know where the club are going to be going with everything, because for all we know, the players are already lined up, ready to come, or there's already a player they got lined up and ready to get an agreement with, and you just need to get it all done. Like I said, I still think Darren may have been told, look, if you can do frees in the summer, I will make some money available in January. And it would make sense. They have a good relationship, and if they can get this relationship going to a point where it works, it would be really smart to see it actually happen, because I'm very intrigued by what he's going to bring in, if that makes sense. I'm very intrigued by what Darren's going to bring in the transfer window. Fenneru is training. Yeah, he's in full training. He probably might be back mid-December, I think they said. But Fenneru is back in training, which is great. I thought the little bit we saw with him in MK Dons, he looked really good. Right wing back required if more want to play his 5-3-2 formation. Love Palmer, but he's not a wing back. Yep, get what I mean. Rest in peace, David the Doc Johnson. Yep, I agree with that. DJ. I heard from her, or however you felt it, is going to go out on loan. I'd be interested if they put him out on loan. The only reason, if he goes out on loan, it got to be Mac Fitness kind of thing. That's the only reason I can think they put him out on loan. It would be difficult. If you had to pick our best 11, who would it be, and what would the formation be? I will put that for the next live stream, mate, because I've got something I want to try out next, and it involves formations. So I will get. Hey, someone move me Sabutio, man. It can only be me, because I'm the only one that's in here. Goes in here. So I will get overhead cam, please. I will get the little Sabutio man out. We'll do it on the green screen and we'll have fun with it. Ignore my very. I'm trying to streamline things a bit better. So yes, but we will do that. We'll have that. I'll have it at the. I'll get the fans involved again because I liked when we did them. I thought it was good, but it would be good to see how my formation to everyone else's formation differed. But that's a good question, Maple Leaf. Best 11's hard at the minute because a lot of the best 11 I've had in are currently injured and it's a pain in the backside. Also, it's sounding like Josh Windas's injury is okay. It's fine. It does look like it's just a little strain. He's probably not going to play against Mansfield by the sounds of it. But he said on Instagram that everything fine, these injuries happen, and he went with it. Mine changes every week. Yeah, I think a lot of people does. We have a best 15. Can't figure out the best 11. Exactly. That's the issue. There isn't many that we can do, and we also have a very small squad. I think I counted like it's an 18-man squad that Dan got, which I find interesting. I think last season we had to just use what we can. The annoying thing is watching. I don't know how everybody else feels watching how good bloody Mendes Lang is looking at Derby and thinking if we played him in the right position, what could be? Because he's looking superb at Derby at the minute. Just give me a moment. I just need to plug something. Don't. Am I the only one that always puts a USB port in backwards, upside down? I always do it. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Mendes Lang is looking good, but we've done the typical Wednesday thing, make a player good when they don't, then let them go. It does seem to be what we do quite a lot. Let's have a look. I seen a little unsure about Windass last game, and he seemed to go soft too much. Windass, I don't know. I feel like a little bit Windass maybe running himself a little bit into the ground too much at times, but he does work. But he did run his socks off in that game, and I'm intrigued to see what Windass does next game for me because he's looking okay at the minute. It was gutting to see him go off, but those things happen, sadly. It is what it is. There's not a lot we can do if... Yeah, but Dunkley knew how we played. Dunkley knew what we're doing. There's probably not much that has changed since Dunkley left. Or to be honest with you. So let me try something a minute. So... Right, I'm just going to try something here. If this works, this will be brilliant. So let's see if this works. Oh, awesome. It does work. Okay, that'll be good for when I need to do stuff. I'm just testing my new bit of kit I've got. So, give me a minute. I don't want a website. Let's do another scene change. Let's then get this back to main camera. Where's main camera? It's not. Is it not? Studio. Okay, not there. That's annoying. Okay, I'll play around with that. Anyway, that's something off stream. Yeah, let's have a look. Dunley could have. Windass seemed to have trouble finishing, more focused on power than placement. True, very true. Even that's weird considering you look at the shots he's had recently from outside the box, they've been all pretty much placement. Dunkley had been a player for us, too bad he couldn't stay fit. Yeah, Dunkley was the one where you look at him when we get him, you think that's a great signing, thinking, right, he can go on and do some really good stuff here. And then it just never really materialized. He couldn't stay fit. But I'm happy to see that he's staying fit now at Shrewsbury, playing week in, week out, doing we know what he could have done at Wednesday if he was fit. And also, class act waiting behind to see Darren and say hello and thank you and stuff, which was good. Gregory and Patterson don't get bullied out of game. True, tired of Windass guying his shots. The problem is, if you put someone like Patterson and Gregory in, you miss Windass's positional sense, because Windass will make the position to free up room for, say, a Smith or someone else. I think Windass wants that glory shot a lot. And there was a point where that wasn't too much in his game, but it seemed... I don't want to say creeping back in, because I think it's always been there. But I'm intrigued by what the club do with Windass, or what Darren does with Windass, sorry, to figure out what they want to do next, because there's an opportunity there. There's an opportunity to do some really good work with him, and Windass is a great goal assist player. Yeah, he is. He really is. But Windass does like shots. This is the thing. Windass have always said on the old Twitter that he's queen of, according to Stockdale and Dawson, that he's not a striker. He never said he was a striker. He's more of that like central attacking midfield player who got a free role where he can play wherever he wants. Windass is more a creator than player than a finisher. Yeah, I think he's one of the one where he's a creator who's also got the ability to finish at times when he's in the right position. It's interesting how we haven't really played to Michael Smith's strengths yet. It's still to come with Smith. Smith is going to be one of those ones where I'll be interested to see, because he needs the ball playing to him in the box so he can win those headers. And when he has won the headers, it's just not worked yet. For me, kind of thing. It's not worked for me yet, but there is somewhat a player there that could work if we get it in the right position and the right box. It's just about how we get there to do that, because at the moment it's struggling to get someone to finish the dinner at times, and that's annoying. Right, I've been going for an hour and 2 minutes. I may go watch a bit of the World Cup. I may not, if there's any games. What game's on now, lads and ladies? Belgium versus Canada. Belgium 1-0 up. Why? Oh, nice one. Nice to see and see. Who will you bring in January? Lou, literally I've spent best part of an hour talking about it. Me, I want to see McGuinness on a permanent if we can make it happen. I'd like to go get another striker. There's a couple that I've seen that are pretty decent. And possibly an actual, like, a left back, right back, ready for the future. Belgium kind of lucky to be in a game. Oh, really? Wow. It's interesting. This was the squad that Theo was meant to be getting in for and didn't. Was it who missed the penalty? Was it the lad that everyone raves about? Davis. Is he a Lens? No, he's not a Lens. Where does he play? I always say him on FIFA. Always, every season, I'm like, oh, where's he at? Somewhere in France. Is it Leon or someone like that? Davis, yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we do. The problem is, back in the day, I could kind of figure out where Wednesday we're going to get some of the signings. As late, it's been a bit more difficult because we don't go for the normal. Oh God, he is a bloody thingy, isn't he? Duh. Yeah, he's at Bayern. He's their left back, isn't he? But when they've done some signings in the past, which have come a little bit out of right field or left field even, and you think, where's that come from? And so it's a bit harder to predict. We're not the team that go for like the usual kind of, we're going to go after this player, and then we go get them. We're like, oh, we saw that one coming. When they haven't done that for a while, so it's a bit difficult to see who went to bring in because our recruitment been pretty solid, let's be honest with you. If that's something Darren has massively improved since he's been here. All right, are we all? I've got that in my wallet, but it's about £1.30, which is mental how much money he'll go for. And the thing is, the World Cup comes in a really good time for players and a bad time because clubs may seize players now who want to make money on some of the players who are like windows or World Cups. So yeah. But lads, I am going to leave it there. It's been a good one. Thank you for joining me for another live stream on a Wednesday. Do me a favour. Let me know. I'll do a poll tomorrow and I might do it on Twitter as well. When are the best time to do the live stream for people? Because I noticed that when it got to about 8 o'clock, there was a massive viewer spike of about 20. So if it's a better time to do it near 8 o'clock, let me know and I will do that because I did have a massive viewer spike there instead of the usual 7. Let's cherry pick from the rest of the rather than finish the job. Yeah. Catch you for a few. Have a great week and try again. Oh, thanks for joining me, Maple Leaf. I hope you well. Have a good rest of your week. Hopefully, he says, I should have another upgrade done in here for the Monday. No, it might be Monday's show. Yeah. Everyone, stay warm, stay safe, and have a good one. And I will see you in the next one. Go listen to the podcast as well. Go leave us a rating if you know how to. I will be sorting out a video for that for the podcast soon, I hope. Just saying how we can do it because I think people still don't know where to leave reviews. But thank you for joining me on this Wednesday night, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.